Hey, we're in Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10 and 11. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." Well, we talked about the first part, being strong in the Lord and the power of his might, yesterday. Today we're going to talk about this, putting on the whole armor of God and standing against the wiles of the devil. Hey, I'm Keith Brown. This is Tack Room Devotional. Now here's the deal. It says that put on the whole armor of God. Now we're going to talk about the armor as we go through this passage, so I'm just going to hit a little bit here and just tell you, in order to deal with the enemy, don't come with just part armor on. It's kind of like if we're going out to gather cattle, don't show up all dressed like a cowboy with your chinks and your boots and your spurs on and not have a horse. You better have a horse. And if you do have a horse, then don't show up without a saddle. In other words, you need to put on the full armor in order to fight that fight. So we do the same thing. We need to understand the armor of God. We need to understand the weapons of our warfare, and we need to engage in battle based upon the weapons of our warfare. We need to be clothed properly. So put on the full armor of God. And again, we'll talk about that more during this week as we go through. It then goes on, it says that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Wow. God is telling us that we can stand against the wiles of the devil. He wouldn't tell us not to if we couldn't. We can stand against the wiles of the devil, but I also want you to notice that it says wiles of the devil. It's not talking about his armory, about his tanks and his bombs and all that. It says his wiles. That really means there his suggestions. It really means his. It's his idea of warfare. That's what we stand against. And the Bible tells us the weapons of our warfare are mighty in God. See, God gives us tools in order to fight the enemy in such a great way that his wiles don't even have a chance. But you and I need to understand that. We need to put on that full armor that we're able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Look at this. If you'll go to 1 Peter, let's see. You go to 1 Peter chapter 5, and let's take a look at the enemy. It starts in verse 8. "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." Now that's the first part I want to talk about, is that he's like a roaring lion. He is not a roaring lion. He just out there makes a lot of noise, makes you think his bark is pretty bad or his bite is pretty bad, but it's just a bark. He is a roaring lion trying to convince you of things that are not truth. It tells us then in verse 9, "Resist him steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by your brotherhood in the world." In other words, nothing that he's done to us is different than what he's done to somebody else. As a matter of fact, in Corinthians, it tells us, it says, no temptation has come upon you that's not common to man. So anything that Satan tries to do, it's a lie, first of all, because he's a father of all lies and there's no truth in him. But second of all, he does not have strong enough weapons that overpower ours. Remember, we talked about this yesterday, the fact that God even fights our battles. Now, when you try to fight against God himself, it's impossible. So if God is for us, who can be against us? Amen? So we need to, first of all, understand that the fight that we have is with an enemy that's already been defeated by God. Second of all, it's only his wiles. It's only his suggestions and his schemes that he's trying to convince us something that's not truth. So you need to put on the full armor. You need to stand and resist him. Amen. Be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. I'm Keith Brown. This is Tack Room Devotional. We love you. Jesus loves you. We pray that God would richly bless you as you diligently seek him and serve him.